Good evening, my friends. The Focke-Wulf 190A is basically constructed and ready for painting. So now we've got to come up with a painting plan. So I've built the border one here, and I'm just going to go with the standard colours because I think that's what this one was painted in. I'm pretty sure. It doesn't really tell you the right information in the instructions, but we'll look at that in a second. So I'm going to go with, I'm going to use SMS and Mr. Color RLM 74, RLM 75 and RLM 76. I'll use that on the bottom, and those two will be the sort of camouflage colors, and we'll use white, and I'll prime it in black, but I'll use white to you know, highlight the color and all that kind of stuff, but we'll do that after we get these base colors on. It's going to be interesting. So these aren't easy to paint. I really struggle with all the masking and stuff, but let's do it and see how we go. So I'm going to paint it in the style of the Black 8, 1945. So I'm going to have to come up with a bit of a painting plan. So after we prime it and stuff, I might start off by doing the RLM 76, so the light blue. And I'll paint the bottom first. So the bottom part here and this bottom part's got to be painted in that, and as well as those rear parts there. Then once that dries, we can make an easier mask. It would be easier to mask the bottom than the top. So we'll do it that way. And then after that, I'm going to go with this color here. So the first lighter camouflage, which will be in gray violet, RLM 75. And as you can see here, that's going to go all the way, so it's halfway up the plane. So I'm going to make I'm going to paint, you know, the whole thing, the top part with that color, and then we're going to mask up the top. I mean, you know, so we can paint the top with this darker color here, RLM 74. But once that's done, I'll remove the masking tape, and we're going to have to sort of, with the airbrush, mottle on some extra of the dark RLM 74. It's not going to be an easy paint, but it's doable. I've already put the gelb on, so that's already done. We've got to paint the propeller separately, and we've got decals for that. So let's have a look at that. We've got these cool decal sheet here, and they're not going to be really easy to put on. It's going to be a bit of sliding going on there, but some really nice 88s. Nice little snakes, a little 3, some, you know, original decals, so you get that, and you also get this one here. So we'll use a few things from that, maybe. But you can do the exact same planes you can do in the original Focke-Wulf one they released, that Border released, and I've got their old decal sheet from that as well. But you also get another decal sheet with the new kit, you know, to do these things, all those kind of things. So that's the new one. But you can see the original decal sheet, I'll just pull it out, is much better. It's got much more stuff, like you got these things you can put on and all that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure why they did the exact same things but just reduced it, but they did. Anyway, let's get primed. So now I've got the plane primed in black. Looks all good now. Can't see any problems or any gaps or anything like that, which is you know, really easy to see when you get it all the same color. But I just used Tamiya's flat black there. I like that stuff. I've just got a heap of those bottles and made them up, you know, sprayable into a bigger bottle there. It's really handy. And then I put on some liquid mask. This stuff is really good. So I'll use the liquid mask. I did that with the canopies, and any parts that are going to stay black, like these side parts here, I put some on the wheels. Also got the propeller primed, and I did the same thing. I primed that in black, and then I put some aluminium. I just sort of dusted some aluminium on that, and then I got the liquid mask, and I painted that sort of around some of the edges and that, so we can, and in the middle there, so we can sort of get some, you know, chipping once we paint it. So the next stage now is I'm going to do the bottom of the aeroplane, so the belly. So I'm going to use our RLM 76, and I'm going to sort of highlight it with white, sort of vary it up a bit and stuff, and we're going to do the belly first. So let's get started doing that and see how it comes up. Okay, so now I've got the first colour down, the light blue for the bottom part. Now we get to, it's all dry and ready to go. I painted it last night, so it should be ready to mask up without it all pulling away, which will be fun. I'll just have to get some masking tape and we'll run it along that bottom line, just along there. And at the bottom of those tail wings. But you can see I took the liquid mask off the wheels and stuff, and it does help. You know, like that's a fair bit of work to brush paint those wheels back and all that kind of stuff, so that's very handy. And it works quite well. But you can see here with the propeller, the actual metal chipping came up very good. Well, you know, decent, what I reckon is pretty good. You can see around the sides there and all that kind of stuff. Come up pretty good, I reckon. And I've modulated it so it's going to sit a certain way, so it's going to sort of sit like that. So as you can see, it's painted a lot lighter on the top side there, and then on the bottom side it's quite dark, but on that top side it's quite light. So it'll be well shadowed. You'll get natural shadow, but you'll also get the shadowing of the paint job, which will bring it out even more. Okay, so I suppose I'm just procrastinating now, because masking is not my favourite task, but it's got to be done. So I'll get it all masked up and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next. Probably do some of this chipping here on some of these front top parts here, especially around the wing and all that kind of stuff. But we've got to get this primed up, taped up first, and then we can re-prime it black and we can add some aluminium or whatever. I've got other metal colours that I can use. And we'll see how we go. All right, let's do it. I've now got the bottom part taped up, which wasn't too hard. I've used all masking tape and sort of sealed up a lot of the gaps, any gaps that could happen with liquid mask. And then I've come back and I've applied the aluminium so we can bring some of this liquid mask in and just dab it on and make some chips like we've done here with the propeller. So now all I got to do is just paint this stuff on. Pretty simples. So I've sprayed on the RLM 74 now. I've just put it on the top and on the wings there. But then I noticed there was sort of some variation. You can see the bottom of that tail there is a bit lighter green, and on the actual front cover here you can see like there's some lighter green spots there and in the middle. So I sort of recreated that the best I could, and there as well. I used RLM 62, so that one there, Run, pretty good colour, I like it. But that's on now, so now all we have to do is let that dry and we can masking tape that up. So I just run a line of masking tape along the top there and along the bottom of the back of this and on the other side of course, and then we'll make the shapes on the wings, and then we can paint on the last colour. So we're nearly done with the spray painting, and then the fun part of taking all this masking off, see how it looks. So it's all taped up and I've sprayed on the last colour, the RLM 75 grey violet. Now all we have to do is gently take off the masking tape and see how I went. So maybe we have to paint it again, or maybe it's all right. So we'll have to have a look. You never know until you take it off. So we'll do that now. I've got most of the masking off and it's come up pretty good. I like it. So now, basically we can start putting the decals on. And there's only some minor things that I need to do, like these red parts here, but that's about it. I lost one of the 20mm cannons, so I'm going to have to get another one of those barrels, but I've got a fair few of those, so that should be alright. Also lost the step to get up on the plane. I'll make a new one and we'll add the other delicate parts. That's why you shouldn't add too many delicate parts before you do all this masking, because it can all come off, but it's, yeah, come up pretty good. It'll look really cool with the decals. It's underneath. Really cool. So now it's time to put the decals on, so I'm going to start getting started on them now. So we're going to start with this side, I think, and I'll start with the snake. Put that on. But there's heaps to put on. There's a lot of decals to apply. We'll get started. I got the two snakes on and they were not easy at all. But they've come up alright. I didn't quite get them correct, but it took a lot of work to get them on. But they're on okay. And I got the cross on as well. But I went a bit too far, so I got them wrong somehow. I got the curve wrong or something like that, but it'll do. So I've got them even, so it's evenly wrong. But they're very hard to move. They're very thin, and as soon as they touch the model, they want to stick, so you make sure you get some micro set. Very important for this. But it's looking good. I have finally got all the decals on, and it is looking pretty good. A lot of them there is, heaps of little ones. You got some on the wing there. But they're really nice decals. Very effective. Then you got the other side. With the number 3, then we've got the spinner. It's pretty good, it's come up pretty good. And then we've got the bottom ones there. And then some on the wheels. So just got to let them sort of set and dry for about 24 hours, and then we can add some, what can we add? Some of this stuff. So that's Tamier's clear lacquer, and you're going to use a semi-gloss. And that'll seal those in, but we've got to let it, you know, sort of set for 24 hours. But while we do that, I can start working on adding the final details, so the small parts you didn't want to put on, and start brush painting some of the other parts. Get that ready, because there's some things under the in the wheel bay here that we've got to paint and so forth. We'll get onto it now. Okay, so this video has gotten too big for me to make anymore, so I'm going to have to end it here and make a part 2. So I've actually covered it in semi-gloss clear, and the next stage is black oil, so we'll do that in a part 2. I'll see you very soon.